Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Lindsay, and I'm here with my colleague Priyanka. And today we're going to share a little bit more about open access here at Frontiers. We're going to take a closer look at the recently renewed Frontiers SIKT partnership. We're going to look at information on how to publish in our open access journals, and Priyanka will later share more about the quality assurance processes that we have in our peer review process. Then at the end, again, we will open the floor to your questions, so feel free to pop them in the Q&A section as we go along. And before we move on, I just wanted to give a quick introduction. My name is Lindsay, and I have been with Frontiers for a little over 2 years now, having previously worked with the publishing department and more recently on the institutional partnership team. I am the account specialist for all of our Norwegian partners, so I work really closely with librarians at your institutions regarding the partnerships that they have with us. So to start, I want to walk you all through that partnership that we have with Norwegian libraries and how it might help you publish for either free or at a reduced cost in our open access journals. So the main reason that we wanted to reach out to you all today was because SIKT, the National Library Consortium in Norway, recently renewed the partnership that they have with us through the end of 2025. This agreement helps authors from 37 different affiliated institutions publish in our open access journals with up to 100% coverage for your publications. And since this partnership began in 2020, over 2,500 articles have been processed and published through this agreement. If you see your institution on the right-hand side here, then your institution has a partnership with us. You can also double check on our website, which I'll show you how to do shortly. And for funding of your manuscript to be considered, affiliated authors should make sure to use their institutional email address in the submission system, ensure that you're listed as the corresponding author on that manuscript, and select your institution from the payer as the payer in the submission system. And I'll walk you through how to make sure that you're meeting all these requirements in just a moment. Most agreements only cover type A and type B articles, which I'll talk more about on the next slide. And additionally, some institutions have additional eligibility criteria. So I highly suggest checking in with your library to make sure that you're meeting all the necessary requirements. Here, we allow authors to submit a wide range of article types to help them further the discussion of and advancement of their field. So most partnerships only cover type A articles, such as original research and reviews, and as well as type B articles, such as case reports, mini reviews, and perspective pieces. Type C articles are typically not considered for funding, and type D articles are always free of charge, so they're excluded from any partnerships. So type A and type B articles are something that you want to keep in mind when you're applying for eligibility of APC coverage. Before you begin the submission process, we do recommend double checking that your institution has an active agreement with us. You can do this on our website's institutional partnerships page, which you can find by following the QR code down at the bottom. You can also use the search function on this page to find your affiliation. And then after confirming, you can go ahead and begin the submission of your manuscript. To submit to one of our journals, you can log into your My Frontiers account on our website or create an account if you haven't already. My Frontiers is a very praised product among our authors because it helps keeps everything in one place. In addition to submitting papers, you can also use the My Frontiers platform to check the status of your paper in review and also keep up to date on any research activities you're involved with at Frontiers. At the top of your My Frontiers account, you'll see a blue button that says Submit. So you can click that and then you'll be taken through our submission portal where you'll fill in all the information relevant to your manuscript. When applying for funding through your affiliated organization, there are just a few things to keep in mind, especially when you're filling out this authors and contributors section. So number one, you'll want to use your institutional email address that has your institution's domain. So here I have an example of the University of Oslo. You will want to select your affiliated institution via the drop-down on the right-hand side. So if you just start typing in the name of your institution, it should pop up and you can select the appropriate one. And then also you want to make sure that the affiliated author with the partner institution is listed as a corresponding author on the manuscript. So this is very important and one of the key criteria that institutions look at. And then most importantly, in the payment section towards the end, you will need to select your institution as the appropriate payer. This will make sure that the university receives your funding request and can make a decision regarding your manuscript. Your institution should automatically appear here if you've done the steps on the previous slide. And if you have any questions regarding eligibility criteria or funding decisions specifically, we do encourage that you reach out to your library directly. However, if you have any questions regarding our platforms or processes, we do have a variety of contacts available to help you out depending on the situation. So towards the end, I'll share all that contact information to make sure that you have it available. Now that we've talked about the renewed agreement with Norwegian libraries and how to submit your manuscript and be eligible for possible funding, I'm going to shift gears and dive a little bit deeper into the publishing department side of things. So going all the way back to the beginning, Frontiers was founded in 2007 by Henry and Camilla Markram. These are two neuroscientists from Lausanne, Switzerland. They had a mission to make science open while ensuring the peer review process was rigorous, transparent, and efficient. And Frontiers' mission and vision is still focused on making science open and accessible to everybody in the world to enable society to generate knowledge faster and more efficiently. Making science open will also enable us to tackle intense public health issues, climate change, and diseases like cancer. And as it stands, only about 20 to 30% of this research is open access, despite the rapid advancements that we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic when most related publications were made freely available. So we could be saving many more lives and preventing further losses by embracing open science. But I am happy to say that Norway is already ahead of the curve. Since 2020, Norwegian researchers have consistently published more open access research than in traditional closed, subscription-based journals. Frontiers, with its active partnership with the Norwegian libraries, has participated in helping Norway come as far as it has towards its goal of 100% open access. So now that you've seen an overview of who we are, I want to talk a little bit more about publishing opportunities here at Frontiers. So in addition to the community benefits of publishing open access, because of the increased accessibility, Frontiers articles receive more views, downloads, and citations. And as of this time last year, Frontiers articles had already received over 4 billion views and downloads. Henry and Camilla started Frontiers with just Frontiers in Neuroscience, our flagship journal. And today, Frontiers has over 220 peer-reviewed open access journals across nearly 2,000 specialized academic communities, including things such as health, engineering, humanities, etc. So you can scan this QR code to be taken to a list of our journals, which you can use the search bar to find the ones related to your discipline. In Norway, the top journals over the past 5 years have been, starting from the bottom, Frontiers in Sports and Active Living, Frontiers in Psychiatry, Frontiers in Immunology, Frontiers in Immune Science, or in Marine Science, and by far the leading journal for Norwegian researchers has been Frontiers in Psychology. And out of all 5 of these journals, the top 4 rank first in their field based on journal impact factor. So I mentioned that we covered nearly 2,000 specialized fields of research, and this is how we organize our journals to make sure you and your colleagues know how to find your niche. So we start with a journal dedicated to a particular field of research, such as psychology, and include a variety of specialty sections focused on different aspects of that field, such as educational psychology and psychopathology. And within these specialty sections, you'll find the submitted articles as well as research topics. So research topics are collaborative, community-led article collections built around a specific theme. They bring together researchers from around the world across related fields with different perspectives and expertise. And for you as a researcher, it's a great way to publish with a focused community stay connected to an emerging conversation in your field, and benefit from increased engagement and impact. Here's an example of a research topic that wrapped up just last year, led by researchers from Norway and Nigeria. Since 2022, the article collection has received over 130,000 views, reaching a worldwide audience. And this research topic also benefited from what we have here called cross-listing, which is where a research topic can appear in multiple different journals and specialty sections to accommodate the multidisciplinary nature of these emerging fields of research. Cross-listing can also be a further boost to the visibility of your research, making sure it reaches all the relevant audiences. So if you're interested in submitting to one of these focused collections, you can search the journal related to your expertise for relevant topics and find one that's currently open for submissions. We've heard several testimonials through the years regarding our research topics, including this one from Professor Mila Volchanova, who talks about her ability to create vibrant interdisciplinary research communities through the research topics here at Frontiers. Leading these research topics are guest associate editors or topic editors, who are senior editors in their field who control the topic theme and oversee the review process for articles in the collection. Each journal also has a more permanent dedicated editorial board, which consists of a field chief editor, specialty editors who lead each section, and associate editors to oversee peer review. And finally, we have our reviewers, both part of our editorial boards and as well as external reviewers to lend their expertise during the review process. And if you're interested in getting involved with our editorial boards, you can apply directly on our website through the corresponding journal. And we can provide more information if you do have further questions about that. The research community here at Frontiers consists of over 1,300 editorial board members based in Norway, including Professor Alex Hansen, the field chief editor of Frontiers in Physics, as well as Professor Harold Viker, the field chief editor for Frontiers in Tuberculosis. They were both kind enough to join our call today, so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for your time and the work that you do to ensure the academic rigor of your journals. I've covered a lot of the researcher-centric initiatives that we have here at Frontiers, such as our My Frontiers platform and our research topics. And the next big project that we're working on for our researchers is FAIR Squared, which builds on FAIR principles by introducing AI readiness, ethical governance, and a structured open specification. This new service will make it easier for you as researchers to prepare, structure, and publish your data while increasing the visibility and impact of that data. It will also help you organize data sets into machine actionable formats, enable access, visualization, and advanced analysis through the interactive FAIR Squared data portal, which we'll look at on the next slide. It will help make data sets citable and discoverable by publishing a FAIR Squared data article with us, and ultimately reduce the manual effort of metadata preparation and compliance. So a lot of really great things. We do have a pilot program that's currently underway. So if you're interested in participating, feel free to scan this QR code to apply. Here is an example of what that FAIR Squared data portal looks like for a published article and how other researchers might be able to interact with your data to further their own research. And that was a deep dive of our publishing department and different ways that you can get involved. Thank you all for your time and attention. And I'd like to pass it over to my colleague Priyanka to share more about the research integrity here at Frontiers.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Hi, my name is Priyanka, and I'm one of the research integrity managers at Frontiers. And I've been with the company for over 3 years, and I started off as a specialist as well. So yeah, I'm here to briefly talk about how we manage quality, assurance, and integrity in our publications. Perfect. Yeah, so when you once you've submitted your manuscript and chosen your journal, so I'm going to briefly talk about the manuscript journey here. And firstly, the research integrity team performs checks supported by our AI review assistant. I'm quite proud to say that we actually have a team of over 50 research integrity members in our department. So your manuscript will be in good hands, and we ensure that our quality checks are ticked off and the integrity is well sustained. And then once that's come through, and then your manuscript will be validated by the subject expert editor. So the associate editor then makes sure that your paper is in scope and passes the relevant checks. And then this is when we bring in the collaborative peer review. So this is when we invite expert reviewers to assess your paper, make a recommendation. So if they think that your paper is ready to be accepted, i.e. to be published, if further revisions need to be made, or if your paper needs to be rejected. So we try and keep this as collaborative as possible, and we make sure that you have a back and forth conversation between the reviewers and the editor as well. And then once that's all gone through, then there's a final check, including the chief editors, to make sure that the manuscript can be finalized before publication. And we also make sure that your article appears in the relevant repositories and indexes. And then we'll also make sure that any newsworthy articles will be promoted to top tier global media. So next slide, please. So in terms of how we conduct our quality checks in the research integrity team, so we ensure that we abide by COPE criteria, and we ensure that all the manuscripts match our internal quality standards. So this is how we use our AI assistant, which is called Ira, and Ira will flag any manuscripts that require our attention and need extra human validation. So I just want to assure you as well that every paper does get checked by research integrity specialist, and we use AI to enhance our checks and make sure that any quality issues are flagged before they reach publication. And it means that we have complete transparency over decisions as well. Next slide. So yeah, scientific fraud is a growing issue, and this is something that is well discussed in the publication scene, especially as fraud is on the rise and tech is very much needed. So we have used IRA for a number of years, but it looks like other publishers are starting to kind of create their own tech as well. So again, I'm quite proud to say that we've been the leader in tech and ensuring that scientific fraud is caught right at the beginning. And then we are also part of the STM Integrity Working Group. So there is an industry-wide collaboration to tackle scientific fraud as well. And that's everything from me. I will pass back to Lindsay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Priyanka. And thank you all once again for your time and attention today. On the right-hand side here are a few ways to get in contact with us if you have any further questions or feedback later on after the presentation. And with that said, I will go ahead and stop the recording.